First, I want to thank the pastors of the church here for opening the doors to all of us to come in and share our heart with Mormon people with you guys. This is awesome. And secondly, I want to thank all of you for coming. And on behalf of all the ministries that are here, I want to say you guys just bless our hearts because we love Mormon people. We want to minister to Mormon people, and to see this many people that are interested in learning how to do that more effectively is just an awesome thing. So thank you all for coming. My family and I, we moved to Utah about 18 years ago. And we moved to Utah primarily because we had been to a camp in Utah, and one of the pastors had challenged us, on your way home, driving down Highway 89, see how many Christian churches you can find. Okay. I didn't know that was a loaded question. And we drove, 300 miles and didn't see one Christian church. Went through 24 small rural communities, no Christian churches. And that broke our hearts, literally. We came to Utah about a year and a half later as a result of that and moved into Ephraim, Utah. At that point in history, there was hardly any Christianity in the whole county. The first year we were there, we met two older women that were Christians, and that was all the Christians that were in our whole community. And so we have been ministering there for the last 18 years. Our ministry right now is called Tri-Grace Ministries. Tri has to do with the Trinity, and grace has to do with the gospel of grace, which are the two main issues that we need to deal with Mormon people. The Godhead, the Trinity, as we understand the Bible teaches it, and the gospel of grace. So they need to try grace. So we named our ministry that. Our ministry is primarily a seed planting ministry. You know the parable of the sower? Sower went out to sow, and he just sowing seeds everywhere. They're falling on the path, they're falling in the weeds, they're falling all over the place, and he's just sowing as many seeds as he can sow. And that's our ministry, is just sowing as many seeds as we can sow so that some of those seeds will fall on good soil and we will see fruit. And we have. We have seen fruit over the years, and it's been a great blessing. My wife said, "You're not going to wear that t-shirt up there to talk, are you?" And I said, "It's an illustration. This is one of the seeds. You know, Christianity is not a religion. Christianity is a relationship." So, you want to see the shirt, you can look at it later, but this is one of the seeds. And you try to pass a tract to a Mormon, and most of them, 99% of them will go right in the trash because their church has told them that they are spiritual pornography. Okay? So do not open that stuff. Do not look at it. But they can't throw this away. All right? And they read it. I walk into Walmart and I see people reading that thing, looking at the back and reading the back, and it's a message. It's what we do. Another seed that we've spent a lot of time planting are the Living Hope videos. And if you sat in on that last video, wow, powerful. And we've sown literally tens of thousands of those videos all over Utah. And they are seeds that we are seeing produce fruit. So if you're not familiar with the Living Hope videos, I would encourage you to go over and talk to the men at that table and to purchase some of those videos. If you can get a Mormon to watch those, they are the most powerful seeds you'll ever plant in their hearts. Any tidbit of truth that you can plant in their hearts is a seed that God will use. And I want you to know that you never will, I never have, Pastor Terry never has saved anybody. We aren't in the business of saving people. All we're in the business of doing is sowing seeds. And when those seeds fall, it's God that makes the seed germinate, and it's God that makes the seed sprout, and it's God that makes the seed grow. And if their eyes get opened up, it's God opening their eyes. And so that's our goal, is to plant as many seeds as we can. Early on in our ministry, we were told that the LDS people are unreachable. You can't reach them. They're too brainwashed. It's just too hard. You're never going to convince them. I know missionaries that have been in Utah for years and years. They've never seen any fruit. So you're good luck, is what they basically told us. And I have a story to tell you to illustrate the fact that that's a big fat lie. It is. It's a big, fat lie. I was at the Manti pageant on the street talking to whoever wanted to talk to me, and an elderly gentleman walked up to me and said, "Oh, tell me who you are and tell me what you're doing here." So I just told him who I was. He said, "Well, I'm going to give you 1 minute. Tell me why you're here and what your message is." So I said, "Well, I'm here because I love Mormons. If I didn't love Mormons, I wouldn't waste my time to come out on the streets and talk to you guys. I love you guys, and I'm here to share the true gospel of the Bible with you." And he said, "You know what? I can tell that you are very, very sincere. But you're wasting your time." And by God's providence, at that very moment, Mitz walked by. And I said, "Mitz, come here." I said, "Mitz, I want you to meet Joe. Joe, this is Mitz. Mitz left the Mormon church. Mitz, tell Joe why you left." And he's like, "You left the church?" Yeah, and so she starts telling him about how she has a relationship with Jesus now. And while she's talking with him, I see, let me see, what's my list? I see Stacy, who's another former Mormon. She was here last night, in fact. And I said, "Stacy, come here." As soon as Mitz got done talking to Joe, I said, "Joe, don't go. I want you to meet Stacy. Stacy's a former Mormon. Stacy, tell Joe why you left." So she starts telling Joe about how awesome it is to have a relationship with Jesus Christ. And while Stacy's talking, I look around, and there is Dee Dee. "Dee Dee, quick, come here." And Dee Dee is Stacy's sister. So I introduced Joe to Dee Dee. And then I introduced Joe to Lana, Stacy and Dee Dee's mom. And then I introduced Joe to Chrissy. And then I introduced Joe to Janelle. And the very last one, he got done talking with Janelle, and I saw Annette. Some of you probably know Annette. I'm just going to describe her for you. She is the white version of Aunt Jemima. She loves everybody, and she will give you a big bear hug, and she will just pour the love of Jesus all over you. And that's Annette. And I said, "Joe, I want you to meet Annette." And she gave him a bear hug, and he looked at me with eyes that big around. And she just poured the love of Jesus all over him. And when she got all done, I said, "Joe, we're not wasting our time." I want to ask you, how many of you are former LDS people, converted to Christianity? That's awesome. That is absolutely awesome. We are not wasting our time. This is for sure. All right, what I want to do this morning is we're going to talk about Joseph Smith, and we're going to introduce to you the man that I think today they say nearly 14 million people are following, including the splinter groups that are polygamous groups. And 14 million people are following the prophet Joseph Smith Jr. Jesus warned us that there would be false prophets. Matthew 7 verses 15 through 20 says this: "Beware of false prophets who come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravenous wolves. You will know them by their fruits. Do men gather grapes from thorn bushes or figs from thistles? Even so, every good tree bears good fruit, but a bad tree bears bad fruit. A good tree cannot bear bad fruit, nor can a bad tree bear good fruit. Therefore, by their fruits you shall know them." So what we're going to do today is we're going to look at Joseph Smith Jr. and see if he was a prophet of God or not. We're going to put the test that Jesus gave us on Joseph Smith to see if he was a prophet of God or not. We're going to test him by his fruits. And to test Joseph Smith's character as a prophet of God, we're going to examine the historical facts surrounding his polygamy. And I want you to know right up front, because I want to be completely fair about this, the issue is not so much his polygamy as it is his choice in women. All right? I'm going to explain that to you in a minute. It's not so much the polygamy itself, it's his choice in women. And I say that because there are men in the Bible, in the Old Testament, that practice polygamy that God calls very godly, righteous men. So it's not that I want to say I approve of polygamy. I don't believe it has any place in the church age. Jesus didn't allow for that. But what we're going to be talking about is Joseph's choice in women. First of all, some facts. And just to be fair about this, because I don't want people to get the wrong idea that we're somehow condemning Joseph for something that the people in the Bible did. Because what Joseph did was very different. All right?